Welcome back to the Apartment A3 podcast. Did that get a little, welcome back to the Apartment A3 podcast?
Welcome back.
Was that more Transylvanian or Jewy guy?
It was a little bit Transylvania.
I think there was a little bit of both. I think I'm really not sure what I was doing there. Welcome back to the Apartment A3 podcast.
Everybody.
That was a little more,
Podcast.
boy, have a matzo ball. I don't know. Starting this off real, not. I have family members that are Jewish, and I love them dearly. It's not being derogatory racist, but I mean, clearly that's a character voice that is somewhat common from everyone. It's not a disparaging thing at all. So how's everybody doing out there? It is just about the end of November. The weather is getting shittier and colder. You gotta talk about the weather every single time. Do I not know what else to do with myself?
Well, it's an everyday thing.
It's like you get into the elevator and you look at the dude and you're standing next to him quiet. It's like, it's hot out there. It's like, is it fucking, why are you talking to me? Why are you starting this?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. I just came out from there.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Is it hot? No, for me, man, this is temperate. Like what? I'm completely ripping off Dove David off, who's a stand-up comic who has one special out that I attempted to buy his DVD maybe 6 years back. The special was so good. I had to go. Wait, hang on. At Dove David off. Sorry. I like to at people so that they know that they're being recognized. I actually had to go and like torrent and download his special because I attempted to order it and my card got charged, and then whoever was running his website sent an email about there being an issue with the pressing or something, and then they refunded my money, and then I think actually I may have gotten a direct email from Dove, which I definitely have saved. So it's somewhere in there. But anyway, yeah, the bit about the weather in the elevator. Man, I am all over the place today. I did not take my my ADD medication.
You got re-upped?
Not yet, and that's why I didn't take it. I don't know if I can have it.
ADD. What is it? Adderall?
Yeah.
It does the total opposite for me. I crash.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the opposite, all right.
I totally crash. It's so funny. I
I
wonder why.
I mean, that can happen for people, I guess. It's usually not. It's usually the opposite for adults. It does the opposite thing. It definitely had something like that been available to me, because they tried me on Ritalin when I was a kid, and it did nothing. And
Ritalin kids.
if I had access to this particular medication, and there are some sort of negative side effects of like shakiness, anxiety, things that it does kind of create in you.
Yeah.
But if I had it when I was a kid, I might have done much better in school. I might have done.
I don't know actually.
It affects everybody slightly differently. I mean, there's a center group of this is what it should do for most people, and there might be some variation left or right as to whether it does extra or less. For some people, they say that if they take it and they're not already doing the thing that they're supposed to be doing, that they get distracted and they don't do that. Like if there are sometimes comics or writers will use it, to help them write, to focus. But if they're not already locked in and doing that, they get distracted with everything else in their house. Like I need to clean this or put this away or the dishes or whatever.
Well, the one time, we did it a few times actually, but every time I crashed, I played the shit out of some drums, but I think I was playing drums anyways. I don't think I needed it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, when you're playing, because I don't know. That's like exercising. That's a physical activity that you're kind of concentrating on anyway.
Yeah, it was just weird, but I would crash. I would finish playing our and I'd go right up to our room and I would go to sleep for like hours and hours. And do you find that you played harder or faster or more intensely, and that maybe you just exhausted your energy? That's what I mean. I don't think so. It was just normal playing drums, and I would just crash. Like I remember we'd play drums, I'd smash out a couple of songs, and then I'd go to bed, and then I'd wake up and all the songs were finished, and I'd be like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Already? Just like that?" And they're like, "Yeah, we did the vocals. Now we're just doing this." And I'm like, "Okay." I
remember the one time when we were at this music school, and I was doing what's his name? The other kid who was the drummer there with you?
Derek,
yeah. Derek and his friend were doing that Night of the Living Dead thing, the Dance of the Dead song. I still have it. I have the files.
Oh wait, Aaron?
Maybe?
He played guitar? Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah.
Not Derek, Aaron.
No, but Derek played the drums on the thing.
No, that was me. You did another thing. Remember, you did a thing for him and his buddy.
No, because here's why I'm saying this, because I know that Derek was there and he played the drums for that. I swear that he did, because they were both taking, like, they kept popping Adderall. They kept like a bunch of them.
Yeah, you did two separate.
Did I?
Yeah, you did two separate. What's the word I'm looking for?
Sessions?
Yes, you did. You did ours, which was called Tony Rocky Horror.
Yeah. You drummed on that?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
and
okay.
then you did another one like later at night, a different day or.
I don't think that I have that session. I have Tony Rocky Horror, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't have that.
It was
I don't
so
think.
fun.
But I just remember, like, Derek's there and he's with the dude. He's like, they just keep eating Adderall, and he's like, what about this way? But what about this one instead? And it wasn't any different to me at all. I couldn't sense any difference whatsoever. And I'm like, yeah, let's go with that one. That sounds good. No, that's great. And the other guy's like, yeah, man, it's fucking great. It's like they're itching their arms like crackheads.
Really,
and like,
good.
You guys need to just back it off. Like, you're abusing it now.
So that is funny.
But yeah, so that's why I asked if you felt like you were playing more intensely or quicker or harder.
I mean, I just think I was already fucked up to the point where it just didn't do anything to me. So who knows?
Oh, like in the opposite direction?
Yeah, like when they say like
it might have evened you out.
People who don't have it or something, I don't know, it does the opposite for you. So I already have like
there was an episode of Family Guy about it. Because
like that.
Stewie was too overstimulated and too smart, so they gave him Adderall, and it mellowed it out. And he's like, "Hey, Brian, how's it going?" And he's like, his eyes are all bugged out and dilated.
That's how I felt. That's what it was like.
But then they gave it to Brian, who was like a sloth and doesn't do anything and has no ambition. And then he like made up this board game that was based on a novel that he had written all overnight. It was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And he was like, "Hey, Stewie, come on!" Like I had the opposite effect.
Yeah,
so maybe that's why.
Yeah, it did not do that for me. Like I said, I just played drums normally and I crashed. Just very bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that means naturally for me, I'm not motivated. But when I take this particular medication, I think it's notorious for journalists. Rogan's mentioned it 24 times in the last year at least that I can remember, where he says, like, he goes, I know a lot of journalists and they're all on it. Every fucking one of them is on it.
If you're an avid listener, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Pot. Just smoke pot.
But it is the opposite thing, though. If you're trying to be productive, if you're trying to get shit done by a certain deadline or whatever.
When hopefully it becomes legal, you just cop yourself a nice sativa.
If in college, if I had access to Adderall, again, I'm prescribed it from my doctor. I'm not just, snorting or anything ridiculous. I can't even imagine doing that. But anyway, if I had access to that, I would have saved my stomach lining so many hundreds, I'm not kidding, hundreds of Red Bull to try to stay awake, to finish papers and video projects. I would buy like a 6-pack of the 16-ounce sugar-free Red Bulls, and I would drink all of them in the matter of like 4 hours. Do you know what that does to your body?
Yeah.
It's fucking awful.
Smashes it. It's like,
it was disgusting.
Have you ever drank like a shitload of Red Bull and then done something super crazy active and then
thrown up,
feel the horridness afterwards? Like you'd cramp, my stomach cramps.
Oh yeah,
up.
It's like, terrible for you. What
do I do?
It's like, it's the taurine or whatever. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's all and of course I went sugar free because like I didn't want the sugar and the calories because it was bad.
Funny story about snorting things. The one time I did, we were in Ellicottville and we were just everybody was drinking and having a good time, and I didn't drink. I still don't really drink.
Yeah.
But I just like stumbled in on my friends and they're like, "Oh, you want to try some?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I guess I will." And I did it, and all I fucking wanted to do was go home after that. But I was wired. I was just like, just flipping out. And my buddy wanted to go home, but he was too drunk to drive. But he drove a stick shift. And I had never driven stick shift before. But I was like, I'll drive. I can go home. I'm totally sober.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking drove us home. I got us home from Ellicottville, in 40 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
insane.
It was just like, I've never driven stick shift the whole time. It was like...
He's grinding the shit.
I didn't even give a shit, but I was so fucking
so
wired on cocaine. I just wanted to get home.
Oh my God.
It was just...
So that whenever, and I've never touched the stuff, I never will. I don't necessarily.
It was the only time I
judge
did it.
I don't necessarily judge anybody that does do it. I mean, the single fact that exists that it's possible that if you've never done it before, there's a chance that you could die the first time you do it.
Yes,
that's a deterrent enough for me to kind of go, I'm good.
Like, my heart was pounding, and I've 30 the beauty about smoking so much pot is a lot of drugs don't do a lot to you. So like I was able to like stay aware, but I could feel my heart being like, I was like, holy shit, but I was driving home so fast. I just wanted to get home, and I didn't even like.
Well, when you take from what I understand from people who've done both, when you take a higher dose of Adderall, it's about the same effect as doing coke.
Shit.
And so for me, I'm like, no, I'm good on that. I just want to be productive. I don't want to die. Like I don't.
Yeah, right. I just need to finish some papers, but yeah,
I'm trying to be on this planet as long as I can. It's not as bad a spot as a lot of people make it out to be. So it's like, I'm just gonna take this accordingly as prescribed by my primary care physician.
I hated snorting it. That was the fucking worst thing I've ever done in my life. Was that one time I did it? I was like, wow, why do you guys do this? But a
minute later, like, oh, that's why you guys do this.
But yeah, never did it again. It's not for me. I
just
stick with smoky pot and eating mushrooms every so often.
Yeah.
Even then, I haven't done that in a while. I feel like it'd be a little too much.
Yeah, I mentioned before. I'm thanks again to Joe Rogan and all of his terrible influence on me. I really would like to do like a supervised psilocybin trip. Right? Yeah. To kind of to have. From what for every time he talks about it, he says, when I the times that I've done it, it just makes me a more compassionate, caring person, because I just realize that there's there's other people out there and they've got shit going on, and all the stuff that I think we become numb to in this world. I know that I definitely do. I just become very, like so many people, just sort of self-righteous, and my problems are my problems and I don't care about your problems. And it's like, well, maybe we would just all be a little bit kinder to each other. That's what he says. It makes me more kind. It makes me kinder.
It sharpens all the senses, as if the frequencies of all of your atoms and energy fields are raised a little bit and are being slightly more conscious.
The guy who wrote that was high on mushrooms.
Probably fucking tripping on mushrooms.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested in it because honestly, it's not. There's no addictive properties to it, and to have that experience where it grounds you and you kind of go, hey, asshole, there's more to this with just kind of sometimes people need to have their mind fucking blown. And I think
mushrooms will do it for you.
Yeah. That's what I hear. We've become too complacent with, just, we're so sure that life is what it is. And your everyday, it's just, this is how it is. And it might not be, it probably isn't, but you won't even have an idea about what it could be until you do something like that.
You should try it if you've never tried it.
Well,
but you got to do it around, like, I don't know. You'd have to be around people.
Well, that's why I said supervised. So like they'll do like supervised dosings where like there's a person who's with you and you're in a safe space and
they're sober
and they're there with you and they can kind of go, no man, you're okay. You're all right.
Like that's a huge part actually of tripping on mushrooms. Like hang on, sorry, I gotta adjust this microphone. I hope it doesn't. It's not.
It's all right. It's gonna.
Anyways, we were in outside of Vegas, Reno. We were in Reno, and I'm not gonna name names, but we were hanging in a hotel room, and it was like 2 a.m, and we weren't at the hotel. We were in the casino in the hotel, and one of the singers came up, and he was fucking gone, and like Christian and I were just standing there like, hey buddy, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm so happy I saw you guys. He's like, I just ate a shitload of mushrooms. And he's like, do you mind if I hang out with you guys? And we're like, no, sit down. And like we were stoned, but it's sober, whatever at that point. But it was just, he was so happy that we were there and able to like help him stay grounded.
Yeah.
He just did not want to leave it. He had his own hotel room. He was
he's like, hey man, I don't want to be alone right now.
He just didn't want to be alone. Like his other band members didn't do any of that stuff, and he had to hide it. So just the fact that we were there and like able to help guide him through, and he's like, he couldn't remember where his hotel room was, but we knew where it was. We were just like, all right, let's just go. It's fine. You need some water? He's like, looking around, like his pupils are his fucking...
Yeah,
like,
the biggest dinner plates.
Dude, it was really funny. And what ended up happening is he gave me the rest of the fucking mushrooms, and then the next day I ate them all, and I was like, holy shit, these are fucking insane. Everything was blue. I was like, mine was crazy.
Yeah.
But it was still like, you need that soberness. Like,
what's the deal with the taste? I hear they taste like ass.
They do taste bad.
I hear they taste like
but you just take
not
a
good.
spoonful of peanut butter or something, or you just champ it and just eat it.
Yeah.
It's when you're in a van with no peanut butter though, so.
Right.
So it's like
you drink a Red Bull and you throw them all up.
So it's a really good time though. will admit, but like I said, you need somebody there that's not going to be like, you're tripping on mushrooms, man. Whoa, what are my hands looking like? You do not want that. It's just going to be like, oh my God.
One of the girls I work with, she goes to a lot of EDM festivals and stuff. And
no, bad vibe.
Well, no, she's a super sweet girl. But like they are one to do, they take a bunch of different shit, and she'll be with her friends, and some of them will be high and some of them won't. And maybe she's like, sometimes if you look at a TV and it starts to kind of do weird shit.
Yeah.
You know how like when you're completely sober, right? And you look at a television, if it's really old and it's been running a long time and it starts to kind of freak out and like there's like shadows and stuff and like,
yeah.
If you've ever seen this, it happens at the one restaurant I'm at because we have TVs everywhere and they run like 24/7. So they start to burn out. So you'll see like a red silhouette around stuff and some colors will start to pop out. It's just the TV failing. But she'll be with her friends and be like, wait, is that really happening? Or is that not happening and I'm just tripping? They're just like, oh, sure. No, it's totally fine. But she clearly sees that it's going on. They fuck with her like that.
Oh, see, no, that's not fun.
Right, it's not. She goes, it's not fun. I'm like, those aren't good friends then.
No.
Because they think it's so funny.
Dude, it's not fun at all. Like, because you're like, really, you could fuck them up.
Yeah,
you know,
I've never experienced anything like that, but I can imagine if I did, I'd probably be pretty pissed.
Like, have you heard some of the acid stories? People, they'll be like, they'll take acid for the first time and the drug sticks to their spine and it fucks them up and like triggers like certain marijuana smells. And
it can trigger
the whole
stuff.
scratch and they can't get the spiders off. Like that's from like just a terrible time happening while they take it. Like so you just
and it sits with you for it's almost irreparable. Like you can't make it go away.
Yeah, you can't. That's why you just need good people. Like I would gladly hang around like while you trip on mushrooms. It'd be super fun. I'd probably just get stoned. We'll watch some good movies. Whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just need comforting. Like, I'll probably if he listens to this, like, I won't name names or where he was, but a certain cousin of mine, some of us know, he was tripping, and he called me, and he was at his buddy's house. And he's like, "Will you come over, please?" And I was like, "Why? What's up?" And he's like, "I ate some mushrooms, and I really need you, dude. I just, do you know what I mean? Like, you just, like, kind of, like, long for that. Because you have those people who are like, oh, you're tripping on mushrooms? Oh. Yeah. And it's just, like, so he calls me over. I call the house he's at. I'm like, you all hanging? Do you care if I come over? They're like, no, come by. So I come over, and I'm like, well, where is he? And it was like, oh, he's in the bathroom. But he's been in the bathroom for, like, a half an hour. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know what the fuck is up. I knock, I'm like, yo, it's me. And he's like, yo, come in. And I go in the bathroom, and he's standing in the shower with the curtain closed, but he's completely fully clothed, no shower or nothing. He's just like, this is the only place I feel comfortable in. And he's just like, look at this loofah, dude. It's such a beautiful color blue. And I was like, dude, you are so ridiculous. He's like, I'm so happy you're here.
The marketing team at Target would be very happy to know that you like that color blue.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just, just kind of long for that. It's kind of funny as long as like...
Yeah. I don't know, man. I spent most of my existence like not partaking in most things. So there are things out there that I think that would be a good thing to experience. Like I said, Rogan, with caution speaks highly of you. Yeah. It just makes me kinder. He goes, it makes me kinder. And he
it
goes,
definitely makes like, dude, when I had the answer to everything. I just couldn't explain it. I understood. Like, I guess the story was when I ate the mushrooms the first time, we were all flipping out. I remember Fred was fucking running back and forth, and it was just super funny watching him running back and forth because he was on the Fallout tour.
Yeah.
And so there was like thousands of kids outside waiting for Fall Out Boy, but like when Fred would walk off the bus and kids would go nuts because they thought it was just somebody walking off the bus. Right, somebody walking off the bus.
Oh, it's not.
So Fred is running back and forth and people are filming him, taking pictures. And I remember I just wanted to hug everybody. And it was just really funny because if you know what our band was like, nobody wanted to hug anybody, but I took the mushrooms, I understood, and I was like, where's dude? I want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
And like Fred, I was like, where's Fred? I miss Fred. I need to give him and it was just like, that was a story. Like you just, I don't know, you feel and you see things and like, and then the one time if you eat the full eighth, then you really start seeing shit. It's like
that sounds like a lot. I don't know if I can handle that.
Oh, my buddy Austin had a Harlem Globetrotters basketball, and I had eaten the whole thing.
The mushrooms, not the basketball.
No, the mushrooms, not the basketball. And how do I explain it? Like, you know when you have like one of those cards and you turn it a different way, it looks like a different color.
Yeah,
It's a different thing. It's like they came in pogs or whatever.
Right,
like,
right, yeah. It's like a hologram, quote unquote, a hologram. So you switch it, and there's like a prism that changes the color and shit.
But do you know how it like looks? How it like does like that? Shifty thing, like that glitter. Dude, the ball was like that. The whole ball was just glowy and just like shifting with those colors, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I really did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but like another thing is knowing that it's going away too. So like if you have a good head on your shoulders, right?
Right.
So, like,
you know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
It's like if you aren't having a great time, that you know that you can go, it's going to be over. It's going to be over soon. It's going to be over.
It's going to be over. But also mushrooms keep you up. Like,
do they?
All hours of the night. Like, I'm counting back. I did it often.
Sorry, Mom. I did it a lot more than I fucking thought that I did.
I was thinking about it, but like, there was a one time like those what's psychedelics or hallucinogens? I don't know. Is it the same thing?
I mean, it's been argued by people who don't know the shit that it is, but it's been argued by people way smarter than me that, again, on Rogan's podcast, where they are a different thing.
In general, with acid and... Because this time I was on acid, not on mushrooms, but I didn't fall asleep at all.
Yeah, that's what I hear about that, too.
Not one bit. And I ended up going to teach drums tripping on acid, too. So I was just, like, watching this kid play drums, and I was like, the sticks were, like...
The trails were crazy.
Yeah, I was just like, holy shit. I was like, I need to go to fucking sleep.
And this kid's like 10.
But it was fun. But like I said, like you were able to feel things. I could feel him learn. I know that sounds stupid and weird, but like just he was getting it, and I was just like able to like. I was like, yeah, okay.
You were able to perceive his understanding of the new thing on a different level.
Yes. Yeah. And then the next time I would come by, and he was flipping out. The metronomes are expensive, dude. Mm-hmm. They're like $85, $90 for a fucking thing that clicks.
Yeah.
And he just picked this up and threw it across the room like a frisbee. And his mom had just paid for it. And I was like, yep, I'm not teaching this kid anymore. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Because his mom would just spent money, and she would like start yelling and screaming at him like during the lesson. I was just like, this is awkward.
Yeah.
This is fucking weird. But yeah, acid and hallucinogens do wonders depending on the person, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. I don't know. Everyone's experience is different, I guess, but there are certain things that sort of go universally with it as an expectation. And like he talks about, again, Rogan, sorry everyone, talks about DMT on a regular basis too, and how they know that they know that the human body creates it within ourselves. Like I think he said they believe that it's created by the liver. I don't know if it's done as a process of processing certain foods or drugs or whatever, but or just in general, but it is, I believe that he said it's created by the liver. They do know that in rats is actually created by the pineal gland, which is the gland in your brain that is basically your third eye.
Yes.
And then in reptiles and serpents, there actually is an eye with like a lens in the brain that is the pineal gland that creates this thing that's your third eye. So it's like, oh shit, like it's something that's supposed to kind of connect you to an existence outside of it's plugging you back into the Matrix, but giving you all Neo's powers. You know what I mean?
I don't even want to talk about it right now because I feel like I'll get fucking killed.
I didn't get the download for the new kung fu moves. I'm gonna get fucked up.
No,
Mr. Anderson.
Like the whole fluoride thing. Like fluoride goes directly to that, and it blocks it.
Directly to what?
Your pineal gland.
Pineal gland?
Pineal gland.
Your pineal gland is just your dick, dude.
Whatever. Calcium goes directly to your dick.
And when it gets calcified, that's what a boner is, kids.
No, but
that is misinformation. Don't listen to anything I'm saying.
According to the Google searching, which I'm going to do right now, I don't even know how to spell fluoride.
He's going to spell Florida instead.
Florida.
Welcome to my house.
It's not giving me any answers that I really want.
That's why you need to research that shit in advance and just bookmark it.
In the 1990s, a British scientist, Jennifer Luke, discovered that fluoride accumulates to strikingly high levels in the pineal gland. So why?
But what does that mean, though? Sure, okay, so it does, but what does it do?
It blocks, so your how do you say it? Pineal gland? Pineal gland, whatever. Is like, so when you, like when you think of somebody and they text you, that's your pineal gland.
Okay.
And like,
so it's that sort of like sixth sense,
yes,
where it's like that's
like,
sort of like, would you think that would pertain to ghost vibrations from your phone? Well, like it's like it's in the other room, so it's always in my right pocket, right? My right front pocket's where I keep my phone all the time. When it buzzes, I know I got a text, a call, or whatever. It's in another room, and I forget that it is, and I feel my leg vibrate, but I'm like, oh, it's not in my pocket, and then I'll go check the phone, and someone did text or call me.
Yes, that's
part of that.
Yes, or because people do that on a regular basis. That's called something. I don't know what it's
right,
called.
And that sympathetic vibration. There's sympathetic something. Sympathetic vibration is just something that happens like with drums. You're hitting your floor tom, but the snare spring on the bottom of your snare is rattling in vibration to the movement of air from the floor tom.
I also think,
but it's a sympathetic something or other.
I think it's kind of related to that too, but in the same sense. But like if you're thinking of somebody and then they text you, that's the gland, and then it's like your way to nature and stuff like that, and like it's for meditation and pretty much. Yeah, and it's why it's super weird that we're drinking fluoride and like we like kind of need that pineal gland, and it's just weird.
Pineal.
I can't say it. Pineal.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How do you
the pineal gland.
How do you say it? What?
Pineal.
Pineal.
Pineal gland. Jesus
I can't even spell it, or I don't even know.
Like almost like pine needle.
Microdosing mushrooms. Yeah, pineal.
Yeah, pineal gland.
Pineal. I've heard other people say it like that.
Right, they're wrong also. Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
Very weird though that we drink it. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that, and I think Rogan on a really recent episode mentioned, how there's something that's, I don't know if it's like a Netflix documentary where it touches on it, or some doctor he's had on that talks about how it's a thing that like it's in the water source. Why is it in the water source? If you just brush your teeth, you're fine because there's fluoride in all the toothpaste.
Well, why is it in the toothpaste?
Well, the idea behind it is, if I'm not mistaken, and I probably am, is that it has something to do with them discovering that fluoride actually helps protect your teeth and your enamel from something. And I don't remember what it was specifically.
I don't understand why it needs to be in our fucking drinking water, though, if it's in our toothpaste.
Right, and that's the argument is why is the government putting it in there?
That's why I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about
the government's putting... Fuck. Oh, it's got to do a really good...
Well, I do know that fluoride was tried during the Holocaust, and it made people lazy and... What's the... Conforming.
Like submissive?
Yeah. So that's...
I don't know, man. I'll say this. I feel like most people drink tap water for most of their life. They might switch to bottle when they get to a baller status or if they become a conspiracy theorist, right?
Yes.
But for the most part, they're drinking tap water.
And they always talk about...
And if there's fluoride in the tap water, and all the people who are the smartest people in the world who are making all the millions and billions of dollars are still drinking tap water at some point, they're not exactly conforming. They're not being, they're not being submissive to the suggestion, of somebody above. And guess what? Those people, they're also drinking the tap water.
Yeah.
The people on the top of the conspiracy are also drinking tap water.
Every so often I'll think about somebody and they'll text me, so I think it still works. I hope. So. Yeah,
you know what? You're fine. It's working.
You know what else is funny too is everyone's like, you shouldn't drink milk. You shouldn't drink it. And I'm like, whatever. I've been drinking it since I was born.
Yeah. I mean, the reality, as far as I understand from the things I've heard people way smarter than me say, is that there's no other animal on this planet that drinks milk that's not from their own mother, from their own parent, from their own species, and beyond their childhood, beyond their infancy, than humans. We're the only ones that do it. The only ones in all of known existence. And the idea is that we all have some kind of intolerance, at the very least, to dairy, because we're not supposed to drink it. When we domesticated animals, I don't know, 50,000, 10, 100,000, I don't know, years ago, whatever it was that we began to, move away from being nomadic tribes. We started building villages. We started subsistence farming, started domesticating, cattle and chickens and, other fucking farm animals, goats, whatever. When we started doing that evolution hasn't caught up with us to allow for us to be able to consume that stuff, another mammal's milk. But you would think that 50,000 years would be enough if it was a thing that you were supposed to do. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that, in particular, Asians, specifically Chinese individuals, they don't consume dairy. If you ever think about it, when you go to and granted, American Chinese food is nowhere near the same as Chinese food, but there's no dairy in any of it. There's no cheese. There's no dairy in any of their cooking because they don't use it. And most people of Asian descent, again, this is actually from my daughter's pediatrician, Dr. Lee, she's Chinese. She said, Asian people, we all have an allergy and a strong intolerance to dairy because we don't consume it in our food for hundreds of, 10, whatever the thousands of years are.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
So because it's not part of our diet, we don't have that. I don't even fucking know what word I'm trying to say. The resistance to the allergen in it.
Yeah,
they don't have that. They are allergic to it, and so to some degree. What's up?
What is that word?
What? I thought I got it. Resistance to the not inoculation.
Your immune system. What is it?
Immunity.
Yes, immunity. That's what it is.
We were so close, dude. That they don't have that immunity to it, and I think that again, from what I've read, what I've understood from people who are specialists in the field talking about it, it's not that everyone is completely allergic to it, or even that everyone has an intolerance to it, but that most people do. And if you're having any kind of health issue, most times, and including depression, most times it means your gut biome's fucked up. The bacteria that are in your gut are fucked up. Your diet's bad. You're not exercising. You're drinking too much alcohol. You're imbibing things or doing things that are causing your gut biome to not be self-sustaining and carry the correct amount of bacteria. You need probiotics. You need to eat kimchi and drink, fucking
kimchi,
kombucha. These are all things that have helped greatly solve a lot of health issues from chronic rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation in general, and even up to and including depression, when you get your gut in check and you get a healthy gut. And that's something I don't have.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a healthy gut anymore.
Yeah, you eat like a pint of ice cream at night, right?
Last night.
Yeah, see, for as skinny as you are, you son of a bitch.
I was.
Your gut's as fucked up as mine, bro.
I finished the pint of ice cream and the fucking jar of peanut butter.
And the jar of peanut butter.
And the jar of peanut butter, along with the pint. Together.
Did you melt the peanut butter first, at least?
No, I'd take spoonfuls of the peanut butter.
You should spoonful of ice cream. Microwave it, give it a little stir, and pour it over the ice cream.
I've done that before. I've done that with Nutella and brownies and ice cream.
That's a motherfucker right there.
Yeah. You also have gone to the point where I've made cookies and brownies and have gone to the store while they're cooking and have gotten peanut butter and Nutella and ice cream and have made cookies and brownie, peanut butter, Nutella.
And every one of those things screams sugar at me, and yes. I love sugar. That's the thing. I mean, gut health aside.
Fuck gut health. Eat what you like.
Gut health aside, it's like sugar is my bane, dude. That's my in everything. And it's like, I'm eating really well. I'm trying to. I'll go to Wegmans and I'll get some steak. I'll get some chicken. I'll get some vegetables. I'll eat really well.
Donuts.
And then ice cream sandwiches. They're like $4 for a box of 12. Yeah, fucking gimme. And then I'll eat 4 of them.
Yeah.
While I'm watching TV after I eat a nice healthy dinner. Yeah. And it's like 10 o'clock at night, and then I go right to bed.
Or the worst is you'll eat nice and you're nice and full, and you're like, but there's donuts.
Right.
And you'll fucking eat the donuts on top of your full ass stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, that I'm definitely. I don't want to say proponent, but I definitely am a person who partakes in that shit.
I feel like if you ate all that shit though, and then just maybe did 100 squats afterwards, it'd be okay. I don't know.
I mean, if you're burning it off, but the idea is that even if you're doing that, you would be that much better if you didn't eat that shit.
That's true. But I kind of need to gain weight.
But you're gonna just gain fat. Well, you aren't. You clearly haven't.
No, there's zero gain weight.
I mean, you don't want to get fat, Tom. You want to be healthy.
Well, that's the thing. I wake up in the mornings. I do my push-ups and the sit-ups and the squats. That's why I'm trying to gain weight and turn it into muscle.
Well, sugar and donuts aren't going to do that, bro.
Well, I got to gain weight somehow.
You know what happens when you eat like that? And I know this because it happens to me when I do it. You get a massive insulin spike and then you crash immediately. Oh, and it's bad for you.
It hasn't happened to me yet.
Dude, when like you said, the push-ups and the sit-ups, you know what Kevin Hart does every day? He does 1,000 sit-ups and 700 to 800 push-ups every day.
Well, good for him, I guess.
Every day.
I try to pump out like 30.
You guys are the same height.
But he also has millions of dollars and has a fucking gym in his house. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like,
You don't need a gym to do sit-ups and push-ups. You do them in your bedroom.
Well, I do it anyways, but I don't know. He was able to get the training and stuff like that. If I had the training, I feel like I would
the training to do push-ups and sit-ups.
Well, he's got all those like machines. I've seen him do all that stuff.
He does a lot of that weight training stuff too. The Rock, I think The Rock had a huge influence.
Oh,
on
totally.
him
That's what I mean.
With doing all the workouts all the time. He does a lot of the sparring drills too, where they do the guy's got the mitts, the big like flat mitts, and he's doing punching drills.
Was probably sick and tired of people like coming up to him and shit like that.
Yeah, because he was
dude. I know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah, he was. He's not any taller, but he used to be, a lot smaller of a guy, and he's put in a shitload of work, I
need to kick it up a notch. Maybe that's not enough. I'm fit. I'm in shape.
You are. Did I mention you? Did I mention to you a podcast or so ago when I was Googling pictures of you to put up to promote the episode?
I don't think we were talking
the one where it's like a picture of you drumming at, I don't know, whatever show, some tour. You're outside because it's really sunny and you're shirtless and your arms are fucking huge. You were jacked. I'm like, holy shit.
I try to keep it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by the push-ups and sit-ups and shit, but I just can't gain weight. Just can't figure it out.
Less sugar and more protein, dude.
Do I need a protein shake?
No.
Do I need to walk around with one
the
of those
shake has got
things?
the sugar in it. Start eating steak. Start eating beef.
I am fucking eating. My mom was like making beef and steak today, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to eat that shit, but I don't know. We shall see.
Elk. Get your hands on some elk.
I could go on Red Dead. Get some elk on that.
You're a hunter?
Hunter on Red Dead.
Do you know that I didn't know you can hunt with handguns in New York?
Yes.
I did not know that. I actually thought it was illegal to hunt with handguns.
No, you cannot hunt with a rifle because the rifle will go through everything.
Well, but
you know what? It depends on the rifle.
You can rifle hunt because my cousin rifle hunts.
But not in Erie County, though.
No, not in Erie County.
No.
He drives out to, I don't know where he drives, but he drives out of Erie County to rifle hunt.
Yeah, you can't rifle hunt in Erie County.
He rifle hunts for deer, actually. But it's got to be out of Erie County then. He's, I don't know, 3 hours out.
I don't know the hunting
Can't
laws.
be a muzzle-loaded rifle. Or what is this, a musket?
I'm telling you, that's what I mean. Like, the laws in New York State are so
No,
weird.
it's maybe it's like bolt action. Maybe it's one of those 5-round magazines.
I'm sorry. I'm talking in New York. I think it has to be like a muzzle load or something like that to hunt.
I don't think he drives to Pennsylvania to hunt, but he might. The border's only 2 hours away.
Yeah, just inside of Erie County, you can't hunt with a rifle.
So, no, I thought I'd always known that too, but then when I was talking to him at Thanksgiving, he was talking about how he had gone out the weekend before and he got like a 7-point whatever, and because I don't fucking know. And I said, you hunting bow? He goes, no, he goes, I usually hunt rifle. I'm like, oh. And then I was talking to my dad who used to hunt. He actually used to own a shotgun and he used to go hunting with his brothers and stuff when we were really little.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you can hunt with a handgun, you can hunt with a bow, blah, blah, blah. This girl, one of the girls I work with at one of the restaurants, she's an avid hunter. Her whole family is, and she's got 5 deer this year, and each one of them she's killed in she's taken out in a different way.
Fuck yeah.
Bow hunt. She did. I think she did. She must be like shotgun, rifle, bow, crossbow, and something else.
Dude, the venison. My dad makes banging venison jerky. I don't know how he does it, but he goes out, gets his fucking deer, brings it back, skins it himself.
Yeah.
And does all that. I don't know if he butchers it himself. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but they get him back to meat, and then he's made pheasant jerky too, whichever. He's like doused it in pepper. I was like, it was amazing. It was like real jerky. You're sitting in it. Was like
Really?
it was like
Pheasant?
a pheasant.
Like, that's so small. How much jerky can you get out of that small bird?
I had a big ass bag.
Oh, wow.
He
Maybe he'll hunt a lot of pheasant.
definitely went to town.
Dude, like, there was some buckshot in there from
my
the
dad
shotgun.
is an outdoorsman. My dad is such an outdoorsman. He'll be like, "Yeah, I was hunting and I found this beautiful piece of log," and then that beautiful piece of log he fucking cuts down and ends up turning it into a table. And do you know what I mean? Like he's
Wow.
just such an
Like one of those guys.
yeah. It's just really funny. Like oh no, sick. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. That is a skill set I do not have at all.
Definitely don't have.
I don't have
skill
that
set.
instinct whatsoever.
None. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, check out that log.
That's a cool log.
It's got ants all over it. No thanks.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That used to be a tree. What happened,
Do you think
man?
anybody heard it when it fell?
Only if somebody was around, bro.
Only if somebody was around.
She saves, bro. She's got 4 houses. So I don't know, man. Holidays are coming up though, and well, I mean, I guess holidays are here. You know, Thanksgiving was good. A lot of food. I kept myself to 2.5 plates this year.
I had 2 plates.
This kid eats almost as much as I do, and he's half my size. And he's
Sorry,
like,
I
I can't put any
fucking
weight
get-
on. Look at that shit
Can't
right
gain
there.
weight.
I can't put any weight on.
I had
you
2.
can have some of mine.
I had my 2 plates. It was pretty good. And of course, I had cookies and shit afterwards. So.
Well, yeah. Pies and cheesecake and stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like from Making a Murder. Yeah.
Never saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Never watched it.
That's kind of nuts. Sad.
Is it sad?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's more sad that I haven't seen any Game of Thrones.
I've never seen any episodes of Game of Thrones.
All right, so at least we're sad together.
Yeah, I don't know, I can't get into the medieval time shit. It cuts off at.
It's
Wild
not dudes
West for me.
jousting in front of people eating turkey legs in a fucking stadium.
It's probably so much the incest they have going on. I don't care for that.
Yeah,
I don't care for that shit.
yeah, that's
No thanks.
that turns a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But I know the stories are good, and the guy is still alive. That's the thing. The guy who wrote the fucking books, he's still alive, and he's finishing them. Like with most things, I mean,
Didn't he write Lord of the Rings?
No, that's J.R. Tolkien.
What other book did that dude write?
Tolkien?
Yeah.
He wrote all the Lord of the Rings, and he wrote The Hobbit, and he wrote all the shit about the Shire.
What
And
did I hear? Somebody said something where it's the same dude wrote.
George R. Martin, I think, is the guy who wrote Game of Thrones. That's a different dude.
Who is this? He wrote something else. Somebody wrote something else that they're the same. I don't know. They're the same author. That's a TV show.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought it was the guy from Lord of the Rings that did Game of Thrones.
No, different dude. Tolkien's been dead for a long time.
The guy from Game of Thrones is that big dude with the gray hair, right?
Yeah, he's got a gray beard, and he
Yeah,
wears
I
like a
don't know why.
newsboy cap or
Yeah,
something
I
like
thought
that.
he was. He wrote. I'm probably gonna get ripped apart now.
Yeah, probably.
I could have sworn that was him.
There's a lot that we don't know, though, and we
Yeah.
admit that we don't know when we don't
What's
know.
his name? KJ Rowling.
J.K. Rowling.
I'm just kidding. It went over my head too. Don't worry.
That's all right. Nah, I mean that woman went from straight like living out of her car poverty to being a billionaire because of writing one of the most
Craziness.
Yeah, it's insane.
Craziness. Didn't she write some of it too on bar napkins? I read too. I don't know. I heard that somewhere.
Possibly, I don't know.
Who
I
knows?
definitely. I mean, the first book, sure, yeah, I believe that. After that first book came out, though, she got money right away and started.
Fuck it.
Yeah, she was good from there.
Write some more.
It was funny because she was a billionaire, and then she made some really large multi-million-dollar donation to some charity and lost her billionaire status. And I think, and this is maybe 2 years ago, and I think Trump blasted her on Twitter about how you gave your money away, now you're not a billionaire anymore. She's like, yeah, but it's cool because I'm a good person, something like that.
Whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, who cares? She still has $900 million. Who gives a fuck?
I'm cool with like $45.
That would be good. 45 bucks to be,
You know what I
that'd be
mean?
solid. It's like 45 bucks. Jesus Christ. I could eat like a king in Mighty Taco for 45
That's
bucks.
some pot.
I could feed 5 of my friends. Right, and some pot.
Yeah, I could go for 900 mil.
Seriously. Give me 3. Give me 3 and I'll retire. I'll never have to work again.
I know that's all I want to do is just do nothing all day long and just hang out with everybody. What are you doing today? Come over.
I don't want to do nothing. I
do.
just don't want to do what I don't want to do. And I think that's most people.
I just want to do what I want to do. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Beyond me doing what I want to do, right? So right now I'm doing what I want to do. I thoroughly enjoy doing this. Have a great time with you. I really like it. Even if no one's listening, that's fucking cool too. If it goes out into the ether and no one ever hears this, that's fine by me. I'm cool with it. But I also don't want to then have to go to my other job tomorrow, to both of them.
That's what I mean. I just want to do what the fuck I want to do and not have to worry about going to work.
Yeah.
Pretty much the American dream in general.
Yeah.
Damn
it's
it.
all semantics because I'm an asshole, but it's you want to do only what you want to do. Where what I was saying is basically the same thing by saying, I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want to do what I don't want to do, which is the same thing as doing, I only want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, I just want to hang out with my friends and family all day
Everyone
long
who is listening right now fucking hates me for
and
what I'm
not
doing.
have to
right
go
now.
to work.
Right, exactly.
That's it.
Not go to work for somebody else. Not go to work for something I don't care about or that doesn't fulfill me at all.
If I had like $900 million, I would probably try and get a half-time job, a part-time job, somewhere crappy.
No. If I had that much money, you never see me get a W-2 from anyone else ever again except for my own company. Never.
Yeah.
I would never, because you wouldn't have to. You would be able to do
I would do it just to keep me sane.
You would be able to do whatever you wanted. You could live off the dividends of your investments without even trying, and not even modestly. You could still ball, and then right before you die or as you die, donate all of it to like 10 different charities. Give each of them $9 million. Wait, I don't know math. $100 million because you've lived off the investment, and just let's wipe out hunger. Let's fully fund Planned Parenthood for the next 10 years.
They would never allow it.
What do you mean you wouldn't allow it? You can do whatever you want.
Somebody would come in
It's your money.
and stop it. I feel like
Warren Buffett is a bazillionaire. And when he dies, he's leaving next to nothing to his kids. His kids are all, I think, in their 50s and shit anyway. Even his grandkids are in their 20s and 30s, I think.
Ooh, that's kind of hurt.
He's not leaving anything but they all are, they've all managed to make themselves successful people in general anyway.
Yeah.
So he's donating, and same thing with Bill and Melinda Gates. They are donating like the majority of their wealth when they die to charities. I mean, it's already mapped out. It's in their wills and stuff. Like, we're talking hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, billions and billions of dollars is being donated.
How do you like wrap that around your head? Just imagine looking at your bank account one day, and then the next day it's a different number, it's higher, and then the next day after that it's higher, and then I would.
And at that point, like, that's the question that everybody has who the have-nots have, like myself. I have not. I go, who needs that much fucking money? Well, nobody needs that much money. But what is it about the accruing that wealth that has the crazies at the top that are trying to keep making all of the money on the backs of those of us that don't fucking have it? Where is the power and attraction? Is it that, absolute power corrupts absolutely? That's fine. But that doesn't explain this desire to accumulate an unnecessary amount of wealth that you will never in a lifetime be able to use, other than the status of just saying, I have this.
I have it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I feel like, but people like Bill Gates, it's not, I mean, it's his fault, but it's not his fault that he keeps making money.
They also, I mean, he and his wife also donate shitloads of money to charities.
But do you know what I mean?
Year.
Like, it's not really his fault that people keep buying Windows computers and shit like that.
Right.
It's not,
right. I mean, well, to some degree, he has an influence on the company itself.
Well, totally.
And what they're producing and how they're marketing and what they're selling, and to make sure that the company continues to prosper. Because now, as an employer, he has hundreds of thousands of employees under him.
Yeah.
That are relying on their jobs to take care of their families, even if they're like an entry-level dude just cleaning the johns in the fucking building. That's a position that is making money because the company continues to sell the product that they created. And I am not anti-capitalism whatsoever, but I'm also very much for people paying their fair share. And that includes corporations that hide their money overseas because they're allowed to legally because of the laws that exist on the books.
Oh, yeah.
The deregulation of protecting ourselves from the banks that happened. I mean, there's so many things that we're getting fucked on. And, and I've said this before, when Steve Forbes of Forbes magazine, right, billionaire dude, when he ran for president back in the 90s, and I was in, I want to say middle school, maybe it was high school when he ran, I can't remember exactly. He had proposed a flat tax of 3%. Each individual person or a household, a company, a business, whatever it is, 3%. And at the time, I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid because I'm an idiot because I'm in middle school. What the fuck do I know? Now I'm like, wait, so that's just it's a equally proportionate dollar amount, or percentage amount rather, per each entity. They're paying their fair share. Their share is if you have this much, your income taxes are this much. Oh, well, 3% of my money, of my income, that's I'm losing all this money. It's like, yeah, but this person who only makes $50,000 a year, $30,000 a year, they're paying that same 3% of their income in. And trickle-down economics has never worked, and it will never work. It's a fucking pipe dream, and it's a goddamn lie that they try to sell us. And so does this asshole who's in the White House right now, in order to perpetuate them continuing to grow massive amounts of wealth that does nothing but sit there and accumulate and just make them look quote unquote better because they have it.
Now we're gonna get into something that's definitely gonna get us killed. I don't want to talk about it.
No. All I'm saying is, and I'm not talking about redistribution of wealth. That's not it at all. I'm talking paying your fair share. I don't know how we got from drugs to here. It all kind of seems to fall under the same umbrella to some degree or another. But it's aggravating that, and that's not just for myself, but for hundreds of millions of people, tens of millions for sure, in this country who work their asses off, who I go into Target and I look around I'm like, these poor bastards. I'm like, dude, you're 2 seconds away from getting a third job. And guess what it is? Overnight's at Target, you asshole. Yeah. Like that's,
I'm having trouble wrapping my head around that too. I'm just like from touring and I'm like, so how the fuck?
With the labels and how they've restructured. So it used to be on your record deal, they made this much, but now because they're not making record sales because of all the streaming, or they're fucking the artists on the streaming services, that they're taking a percentage of your, it used to be when you toured, that's where you made your money.
Yes.
You would make the money on the ticket sales. Like you would make your money on your t-shirt, on your merch.
Pretty much like that still.
Right. But now the record companies are restructuring their deals with these bands where they're taking a big portion of the ticket sales. They're taking a bigger portion of the merchandise sales.
You know what else is a huge thing now, and it kind of started like maybe 2008, maybe 2010 it started, as buying on. It used to be where like, oh shit, that band's really good, I want to bring them on tour. Now it's a band is like, we'll give you $10,000 if we could play on your tour. And now
so pay for play.
Yeah, that's what it is now. Like, and it's just kind of whack because, like, what happened to putting in hard work? Like now you could be a shitty band and have a rich dad that'll be like, Dad, will you offer this band amount of money? And he'll be like, yeah, fuck it.
Or even a label rather willing to roll the dice on exposure by saying, you know what,
that pretty much my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just weird. It's like a lot of it's changed due to economic problems.
Well, I mean, it's very weird. Within the music industry, it's all because of the invention of the digital music format creation, because of the MP3.
Yeah, remember MP3.com?
Yeah, Napster.
Shit.
That was the start of everything. That was, I used to think that Lars Ulrich was a fucking dickbag, and what does he need this money for? He wasn't arguing for himself and for the millionaire rock and rollers. He was arguing for every musician who was an artist who created content. And looking at it now, I'm like, I'm an asshole forever thinking that guy was a dick.
It took me to be in a band to realize that.
And it's funny because I was totally on board with that South Park episode where the boys created that band Moop, and they were boycotting with Metallica against the record industry. But then Cartman created that Christian rock band called Faith Plus One because he wanted to get to platinum, but they were a Christian band, and Christian bands don't get platinum; they get myrrh. So he lost his bet.
They get myrrh. What the fuck?
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh, the gifts that they brought the baby Jesus. It's something that they use to embalm dead bodies. They used to, like 2,000 years ago. So they got myrrh instead of platinum. So he lost his bet because he didn't get platinum.
It just gets weirder and weirder, man.
But the point is that
not South Park. I'm talking about just the music industry.
Yeah,
oh, myrrh.
No, for sure. But. Well, no, it's a joke.
I know.
Because they're a Christian band and it's myrrh.
I know.
That's why it's funny.
But I wouldn't put it past.
But the point is that they were totally, behind bashing rock star musicians who are these rich guys. I'm like, dude, for all the insight that those dudes have had, Trey and Matt have had, they missed the fucking boat on that. Because
it's hard work fucking writing a record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard work. You go into a studio and you're going to fight with a dude over a fucking shitty part, and then you finally make it, you finally put it out, and somebody is stealing it from you, and you're just like, Cute was like a few thousand records away from a gold record. I would love a gold record. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's gone because of, now they give you like, oh, you got a gold platinum stream. Fuck that. I put in a hard
right, and you know what you get for that platinum stream? About $5.
Yeah.
They
garbage.
Fucking railroaded. It's just they worked out the deals. So the streaming services worked out the deals with the record companies, and the record companies go, cool, well, we own all the rights to this music. We don't have to give the artists much of anything. We'll take X amount from you for the exposure of the blah blah blah. And then Spotify, Pandora, Spotify in particular, I guess, is a real bastard about it, and they pay the artists next to nothing for their, what was it? The Fair Music Act, I want to say Steven Tyler from Aerosmith was on Rogan, and he was talking about this act that he's trying with a senator, and I don't remember where she was from, to push through his legislation to protect musicians and artists, music artists, with regard to the streaming community, because there aren't any laws in the books about it, because the shit's still too new for our slow-moving slug-ass government to have done anything about it to protect musicians. And so what they're trying to do is get proper payment to the musicians for the amount of streams that are done. I think David Crosby said that Crosby, Stills, and Nash had something like however many 10, 20, 30 million streams in a single month, and they got something like $10 for it. Like something absurd. Like this, they wrote the songs that the musicians today go, oh yeah, I was huge into that when I was a kid. Whoever it is. And, they're getting fucked. Who's the one... R&B guy, not R&B, but from Detroit boy from back in the day, Smokey Robinson. They owed him I want to say they owed him $200,000 or something crazy like that, and they're just like, yeah, no, we're not going to pay you. And eventually he had to spend a ton of money out of his own pocket to get lawyers in order to go after, and I want to say it was Spotify, to sue them into actually paying what they were supposed to pay, and eventually they did. But he paid out so much in lawyer fees that it ended up being less than half of what he should have gotten for a guy who's been making music for 60 years.
Shit.
And that's the bitch right there. You know?
Unfair.
All right, guys, it's a weird place to end, but we're at an hour, so we're gonna time fucking flies when you're talking about drugs and music, man. It
was a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. Awesome. Stay tuned in the next couple weeks. Definitely have our regular shows coming on Tuesday, and then the Christmas episode will be available on the 18th. Contemplating, kind of kicking around the idea of putting out the video version of that episode either on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, possibly maybe the day before. Only because we're selfish and we want everyone to pay attention to us and the holidays, and the baby Jesus is kind of, he's the superstar over that week. But we want you guys to be able to see how ridiculous I look from the side, because I'm as thick, I'm as deep as I am wide. You know what I mean?
I'm excited
from
for
the
the
waist
people who
up.
don't know who I am. I'm excited for them to put a face to my voice.
For sure. Well, nobody knows. Well, okay. There's been a few posts where they know who, if they looked at if they went back in the thing.
Oh yeah, I guess you know what? Just disregard everything I just said.
Yeah, I mean, also Tom is the highest ranking pseudo celebrity I've ever had in the apartment. Yeah. Who else? Who have I had in here?
You're pretty.
Me?
Yeah.
You're shitting me, right?
No.
How many tours did you do mushrooms on? Right. Okay, cool. All right, well, thanks a lot, guys. You have a great week. We'll see you later.
Thank you.